Hello, everybody. Today we're having the live stream with the second of the judges that participated this year in Bonsaigers X. We're here in the company of Walter Pall, and we're streaming live from Andreas Zokic garden close to Split in Croatia. We've been participating to a 3-day masterclass that is gonna finish tomorrow, and we have the chance to be here live with the German master that has been helping us during this tournament in November and December. Today we're gonna talk about some of the trees that participated, about the competition and how it ended up with their winners, and some more topics that we're gonna discover. So, welcome. Thank you for participating.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
We're extremely honored to have you here and to be having this conversation with you.
Okay.
So, us and Walter met each other a few years back with actually participating in one of the editions of Bonsaigers X. And after we had the chance to meet in person in his garden, this year we asked him personally to participate. So we would like to hear from you what you think about the event.
Yes.
And how it was to participate as a judge this time.
Okay. Well, what you don't know, it was not easy to convince me to be a judge because judging is not so good. Why is that? It's harder work than you think. You have to be very careful what you're doing. And you will have 32 enemies and one friend. Okay, and nobody pays you. So to be a judge, I would rather not, okay? So for some reason you convinced me, but I'm very happy that you did so because I had a lot of fun. It was work, and it was not so simple, but I really liked the whole competition insofar as, to my surprise, the overwhelming majority of trees were really artistic trees, not just this commercial, very good but traditionally fabricated trees, which you see copies of copies everywhere. They're very good, but this is not really in the Western way of seen as art. Art is not a copy, okay? Almost every one of these trees was authentic, and I, of course, liked very much the fact that quite a lot of them looked rather naturalistic to me, which, as you know, is something that's very close to my heart. And I had a long time struggle against mainstream, and now it seems like we are mainstream. Okay, so super. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Will.
That's awesome. Actually, we were stunned with the quality of the material that was showcased this year. We had many amazing artists, as you were saying, and it was an honor to have them. Like as you said, it felt like they were really modern tree that really like we could say maybe Western with the Western look.
If you want to, it's it's more Western tree. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it was something that I was really surprised with. As I said also before, is that. We had a lot of documentation of the development of the trees. It was a topic in our private talk with all the judges on how these must influence or not the judgment that you gave. And we have, as I said, many pictures of it. And today we're going to go through them. They're available on our Instagram page, on our feed. You can go and look what trees are we talking about. So I would like to hear from you. What is your take on the judging process? Because it was a little bit different from...
It was not a little bit, it was very, very much different from what is normally done. I have been judged quite often, also in very, very big important shows, and it was always judging the tree, never the development, never the pictures of the past. Okay, so that's one thing, but you have to understand that we have to make a choice. Do I judge the finished product just as it is, or do I judge the development? If I judge the finished product, I give an award to the tree. If I judge the development, I give an award to the artist. That's two different things. And you somehow asked me to do both all at once. You didn't even quite tell me. You said, well, Walter, you judge what you like. And so I did. And I, in the beginning, thought that as a judge, the very best thing would be if I would not have ever seen the tree before, if I would have no clue who the artist is, okay, and then just use my judgment. The problem is, 6 of these people were my students, and I knew about 10 others, so almost everyone I knew, and I've seen almost every tree before, but that's part of the game. So how do I find a solution here? Well, the solution was that I decided I have to look at the development, but that cannot influence me too much. I will have, if I have 2 trees, which I think are about even, then I will judge the development and maybe give, that's a good reason. So that was my personal decision. Nobody told me to do that. But this dilemma, you totally understand. Do I judge the person or the tree? You see, if I judge the tree, honestly, somebody could buy himself for $100,000 a good tree and it would win. And it would be very fair to give him the award, right? But the thing would explode. But that's what you're asking me for. Or you're asking me the development. Then it can be a mediocre tree in the end. However, the development was fantastic and was very difficult. Now, do I judge the development against what? Against how difficult it was, how he started out? Now, now we have a problem. One of these people that we speak about didn't have history pictures. So does he not, has no chance to win or what? Huh? So you made it very difficult for me. We have to think this through next time. Okay, but we somehow got it.
Yeah, our take on this, as we said before, is that having judges that come from such different backgrounds as we had this year, as for the people that has been participating, voting, and following the competition, we had 3 judges together with Walter Pall that is joining us today. We had also Toshefler from the US and Master Matsusue from the Suishoen Garden in Japan. That brings the possibility to have 3 people with different backgrounds and most likely different point of views on the topic. So this is what we were looking for. As many other things, like this was a new thing for this year's event, and it comes with some challenges, of course. We know now.
Yeah. Yes. The other thing is that it's very different from normal competitions, insofar as we had 3 judges with obviously, which what we thought very different tastes. It turned out they were not so different, but we thought that we want very different tastes. And we have the general public with a big say. Now, it is a general rule that the general public has more of a, let's say, a bit of a naive sort of taste, whereas all these judges, they have done it so long, they are deeper into that, they have a more of a mature taste. But what taste is better? Well, anyway, the way you weighted it, in the end, all the judges together are just a bit stronger than the public, okay? However, the public has a big influence. If only one of the judges does something else, then we have a different result, and that's good so. The thing is that if we have this Japanese gentleman, we obviously expect him to judge like a Japanese, okay? By the way, he did not really. Very interesting, okay? Yeah. And then you have Walter Pall, and you think he obviously will always prefer the naturalistic style, and he didn't really, right? Because you cannot do it as a judge, okay? And then you have the general public, and the general public usually does something a bit different than judges. The general public always thinks that it's a beauty contest, and we are looking for the most beautiful bonsai. And in the end, some bonsai wins, and as a rule, the general public, but there were more beautiful ones. And what's the answer? Yes, but it's not about beauty. Oh, really? Nobody told them. Nobody told the general public that this is not a beauty contest. It's not about beauty, it's about impressing. So the general public, with a bit of a naive taste, is easily impressed by beauty, even by beauty that has been done quite often in that manner. So they say, wow, that's beautiful. Okay, we are not, as a sophisticated judge, we have seen this so often that a very well done traditional tree doesn't impress me so much anymore. I've seen hundreds of those, right? But a new tree, which has never seen before, does impress me. Now, for the general public, they cannot understand this, because obviously the first one is more beautiful. And as I said, well, this impressed me more. And you can impress with beauty. You can also impress me with beauty, but you can impress with size. You can impress with drama. You can impress with naturalness, whatever. Okay, and this is not how the general public thinks. But I think this combination is very good and makes this unique. We are, of course, are compared to all these shows around the world, and there are always these awards, and this is very special, very different. And I think we must keep this in the future, and maybe find a few edges which we smoothen.
Of course. Thank you. Now that we talked a little bit about the competition. We've been talking about this beautiful against impressive quite a bit. So before, there was a comment of yours also in one of the comments that you wrote to the participants, and to connect with that, I would like to showcase to you some trees that didn't have the chance to get a proper comment. Mm-hmm. Since we, for the amount of text that must have been shared, and we decided to leave the comment just for the first 8 trees. But having 32 trees, some has been cut out of this, in our opinion, and also some of the artists that have been included in this competition was one of the best things that we introduced this year, the comment of the judges. So the artists that showcase the trees understand why it moved forward or stopped in the ranking against another tree. We would like to show you some of the trees and hear your comment on it.
Okay.
So we can start from Horst Kaltenbrunner. It's a Pinus sylvestris.
You can turn the photo.
I've seen this tree, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's beautiful, impressive. I'm gonna let you talk about it. But the reason why we chose it is because this tree has been going against in the second turn against Andrija Jokic tree that arrived third in the ranking. So one of the winners, and the judges have been voting for Andrija's tree, but the community instead has been voting for this.
Yes.
So we would like to hear, what are your thoughts about it?
I had the difficulty to make a decision here because I really like both trees. And it was a tragedy that they came together very early. And in the end, Andrija won, and also according to my vote. But it was not easy for me because this is a very nice example of an artistic tree which does not follow the paths of the ancient paths, which looks like it's new. We have not seen it before. It looks authentic to me. It's styled. It's obviously styled, this is not looking like a natural tree, but it looks like a tree which is styled to look natural and authentic. And like it could have grown like this. And I like this elegance. And I really like the combination with this, was it a stone, a slab, or whatever. And also the size-wise, it's a modern way. You know that 10 years ago, we never saw trees on stones, and all of a sudden they're everywhere. It's an inflation. And I feel that I was a bit part of that starting this, because everybody knows that I use these a lot. And since I use this, everybody else uses this. Okay, they copy me, fine. So anyway, this looks like I could have done that, and that's a good start. So how do you judge? Well, in the end, it's a personal decision, according to my taste. Now, if I say I could have done that, that means, of course I liked it. Okay, give you good points. Now, the tragedy is that also the other tree, I could have done that. Okay, and so it was a big olive of Andrea, and then the question was, which one impresses me more? That is like asking the mother, okay, you have 12 children, okay, choose the best one. Don't do it. Anyway, I gave this a deep thought, and I decided that Andreas is much more powerful, more impressive. This is elegant, and you can impress with elegance, but I am, if you want to give one of these trees, only one, then I would choose Andreas. And that I said, okay, that's it. And much to my surprise, the other judges thought the same, although they didn't know about this dilemma, because I know both trees, by the way, and I know both owners. Okay, so anyway, as I mentioned before, that's very tricky. If you have a judge who knows everyone, I mean, you were always tempted to cheat to help some friend or student. And you know, it must not be, and it must not appear like. So sometimes you have to not give your student good points in order to look neutral. But is that fair? No, it's not fair. So anyway, I was somehow happy to finally make a decision, and then I was not alone.
Mm-hmm. Nice insights on the topic. I personally really like this tree. It made clear for me a problem that we have in our garden with one of the pines, because the root system of this tree is just splits.
Just something occurs to me. I did then look at the history of both trees, and I did finally decide that historically Andreas' tree started from very not so good looking material, was really a dramatic change. Okay, so that made a major part of that decision. Okay, but then maybe Horst didn't have the right pictures.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I mean, and as we said before, Andreas' tree reached the third placement, so it's a stunning tree. The picture is amazing, and I mean it's something unusual to see. It showcases a lot of weight. It's a big tree, important tree, and I mean it lost to, I guess, one of the best. So it's understandable. But moving forward, I would like to bring to the light another pairing, two trees that have been having more or less the same situation inside of the competition. The two trees that I'm talking about are the one Plinia cauliflora from
yes.
Deus Bonsai,
yes,
so a
yes.
South American tree,
yes,
big
yes,
tree,
yes.
That was outvoted by the judges against Fabio Perissinotto's tree. There was a Pinus, I think there was Tumbergi. And the two trees are really different. This is one of the difficulties of the Bonsaigers X, because you have different trees going against each other, conifers against broadleafs. But this pairing was a draw on the community voting. And the judges, although, voted for the Japanese pine. So I would like to hear something about this tree especially, because we heard about Fabio's, but this tree didn't get any comments. So what do you think about it?
I think it's a very nice tree, like all of them basically, and it's a very close quality-wise to this. It was also a very difficult decision, not so easy to say. And this is everything very well done, but for my feeling, it's a bit too dense, especially on the top. I would cut out personally a lot on the top, and it's a bit too quiet. I mean, it's like sitting there and saying, "Oh, I'm beautiful," okay, but it doesn't do much to impress me, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Whereas the other tree does a lot to impress me. Mm-hmm. He's trying at least, and the other tree has another issue with me. It looks very Japanese made, right? Mm-hmm. So this is one of the closest Japanese styled trees. So obviously Walter Pall would not like it. Well, I do like it. Mm-hmm. It's not, you see, it's not only I don't work in this style, but if I see a tree like that, I like it. So it's a big misunderstanding. Yeah. So I could give this high points, although I would never do it. And so this is very well done. And this is also very well done. However, this one gave me a bit more the feeling that it is something a bit more soul, and this is a bit more like too quiet for me. Now maybe that's my personal feeling, but interesting. Also, the other judges must have thought something. So I'm so sorry that I couldn't give you my points, but this is judging.
Yeah. Nice.
Another thought insight, in my opinion. I would like to move forward to other two trees, and then I would like to talk also about the winners. I want to show you two of the trees that, in my opinion, were passed a little bit in silence. Is that they didn't get so much possibilities because they lost in the beginning of the competition, but in my opinion were really beautiful, we can say impressive, or at least I appreciated on the one that I'm gonna show you right now the development of the tree.
Yes.
The tree that I'm talking about is from Bruno Proietti. He's an Italian artist, and he brought a Taxus baccata.
Yes.
That we found as a Yamadori garden treasure, and it was really humble in the beginning, but I think that it did a really great transformation. And in this case, it just didn't pass the first turn.
Well,
what's your thought?
Yeah, so if you speak about transformation, yes, yeah. But then you see, it was not so clear that the transformation is what is more important. Is it the end result or the transformation? At that point in time, I only looked at the end result. And the end result, for me, is a very well-done tree, a bit traditional, which is fine, very well-groomed, and very well-balanced, but a bit too much of that, meaning it is a very well-styled tree which wants to impress me. And I would rather have a tree which doesn't care, it just impresses me. I understand it's a natural one. This one tries very hard, which is fine, but he's, may I say so, a bit overstyled for me. And I know that this is unfair for me to say, because that is the heritage. That is the sort of the Italian taste. That Italian taste for us is a bit overstyled, right? Yeah. You understand?
Understandable.
You overdo a few things, but which is fun. This is why we like you, okay? How, on the other hand, by the way, but you asked me for my opinion, and I have to do some judgment. it's very nice, but if the other tree has a bit more authenticity, then it gets the point. And I'm sorry for this, but then what would I do? Well, I would probably make it a bit more rustic. Okay. But if he does that, he shouldn't think that next time he wins because it's going to be another judge.
It's really nice to hear those insights.
Well, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. I hope that this is gonna go also to the artists that actually showcase the tree, and it's yes. We got a comment from one of the live audience. So, as I said before, you can find the trees on our Instagram page. We'll showcase the trees right now as well. This is the tree that we just talked about. Is the Taxus baccata, the Italian Taxus baccata. The other tree that we talked about was this Plinia cauliflora from Fabian Camilo Sora, and we had the last one, Fabio Perissinotto with this Japanese pine, and the last one is Horst Kaltenbrunner with the Pinus sylvestris on the stone slab. We'll find it now. But as I said, Davide is going through the Instagram feed, and you can see all the trees and their development just if you move to the feed. Here it is. So I would like to talk also. Another personal favorite of mine was the pomegranate from Ivo Santos. This is a tree that it's the only fruit, like a tree that produced fruit that was in the competition and was showcasing a pomegranate in the picture. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it's very nice tree, very, very different, very unusual way of styling. Also, choice of pot. We speak about that. And it had the misfortune of competing against conifers, against very, very good conifers, which is always very difficult for deciduous trees. So I think the combination of this deadwood and this nice flowering and fruiting tree is very interesting, very unique, very good. Does not conform to orthodox bonsai rules, but that's good, that's positive. And then it has this Chinese pot. Usually I hate these Chinese colored painted pots, but in this case I must say that's a pretty cool combination, especially with that apple there. So in this kind of situation, this sort of pot, which has a tendency to be kitschy, these Chinese pots, for my taste, very often are beyond kitsch, but this one is not. So the pot I like, the whole thing I like. So the question is, why in the world did it not win? Well, because the others were better. I like them even more. So what would I do here? Well, not much. Maybe I would make sure that this deadwood gets a little work on to not have reverse taper, and that's about the only thing that I would immediately do. The rest is a very naturalistic crown. It could well grow like this, really, in the proportions are right. So it's a tree that, yes, was in the competition and is with other good trees, and unfortunately it had a better one on the other end.
Which understandable. I mean, there were a lot of beautiful trees, impressive trees in the competition. Unfortunately, there's space for just one winner. So it's the nature of the competition. It's the pairings, it's the competition that drives to a conclusion. So in this case, it's another tree that got the winning. We would like to talk briefly about also about the winners. Yep. We had the chance to speak before about it. It's three fantastic trees. Of course, we really well known the tree from Andrea since we've been working on it yesterday. But do you want to talk a little bit? Do you have any comments about any of the three winners?
Sure, I must have, otherwise I couldn't be judged.
Yes.
So this Sergio's tree is a fantastic tree, and it was so well deserved to win. The only thing is the second and the third are also very, very good, and also deserved to win.
Mm-hmm.
So why did this win? Well, it was clearly one of the favorites right from day one already. And it's a very well done, extremely well done naturalistic tree that looks like a real tree out there, or gives you that flavor, and it's not overdone. It's a maple in full foliage, but still looking very good. You know, many of these maples with foliage don't look good, but when you take the foliage off, they look good. Mm-hmm. In this case, it already looks good. And then it has this fantastic bark, and this bark here really. Okay, this bark really makes it very, very old looking, very rugged. Okay, and I like that very much. I like the combination with the pot, and the whole thing, of course, is very famous. That's another problem. If you have a famous tree, of course, another one you have never seen before, is not so easy to make a decision here. But that decision, in the end, was very obvious. It's simply the one that impresses me much more. Mm-hmm. And I was not the only one to say that.
Yeah. This is an incredible, an incredible specimen. Like, I think that the
it's not a maple, by the way.
Yeah, it's an elm.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, it's understandable.
I'm under pressure here.
Yeah. But the genetics of the tree are insane.
Yeah.
There are a couple famous around.
Yeah.
I think that Ryan has from Bonsai Mirai has the sister tree. So it has been quite famous in the community. And when Sergio brought this version, it's a stunning piece. As soon as I saw it, when I got the email, I realized that we have one of the podium trees. So this one is the tree that we're talking about, in case you didn't see it before. So beautiful pot, like beautiful combination. It's wonderful tree. It went against Richard Wright Forest that we've been having the chance to talk also about. This one is a bold cypress forest. You said in a comment that you felt like it was a really old and established composition.
This is also something you have to judge. We as bonsai, may I say masters, we have learned to see the future of a tree. We don't see what's there, we see the future. And then if it has a great future, it's a great tree. But it may not quite be there, but we know it's going to be there. So we are judging the future. Now, but here you should judge, you should judge the present. Now, how do you judge the present? Well, the total lack of wire, the total lack of visible signs of somebody having just worked. And here it's the opposite. This looks like nobody has touched this thing for the past 100 years. And that's what it's supposed to look like. And it gives me this feeling that's genuine, that's authentic. And nobody has tried to fool me, to do something there with some little trick. This grew just like that. And it's a pure luck that these are in the right proportions, and it's well presented. The table maybe is not so good. The tablecloth I would have improved, and then I would have cut this off on top. So just a little remarks. If it's a photographic competition, you better make an excellent photograph, and you learn how to cut it. Okay, but anyway, it was second, good enough then. I think it basically had no chance against Sergio's tree. So this basically is why it didn't win. But it was close, and I really congratulate this person to this kind of tree because I could have done that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks like I could have done that. So that's good enough. Okay.
That's good.
Thank you.
This pairing, like Sergio against Richard, was the judges voted. Everybody voted for Sergio, but the tree from Richard actually won the community
From the
vote.
public,
Yeah, won the community vote. Why do you think it's that?
Because I think that the public thought that the elm does not conform to what they learn are the rules. It has no branches in the right position, it has no triangle, and it's simply not as it should be. Because the general public is still in the state that we were 35 years ago when we thought the Japanese rules are written in stone, and this is what a tree must look like to be good, otherwise it's simply not good. And time has gone on, and the taste has changed, and even the Japanese judge does not believe in this anymore, but the general public still is in this mode. That's my feeling. So the question is, but they are a lot more than we are, so they are the majority. Another thing about judging, you know that many people in the general public think that this is a democratic vote. It is not at all. Okay, they think they are the majority and they can decide about the winner, and the judges are in their way because they have a different opinion while they are more. It is not a democratic vote at all. It never should be. An artistic selection can never be democratic. That would be this disaster. It's like the European Song Contest. No, we don't want that. Okay, so that's my take on that. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. It does make sense. I think that there could be many ways of seeing at the vote of the public in this topic. You mentioned before that conifers many times are preferred, like when we talked about the pomegranate. It could be the forest also. Maybe the first composition is a little bit more appealing for somebody, but yeah, definitely could be also for the way that it's styled and the way that beauty against impression.
Yeah, I must say I personally was really almost shocked when I saw that they wouldn't vote for Sergio. For me, that was so obvious that this tree is far more impressive that I was, okay, but anyway, this is a general public, and they have a big say in there. So I accept that.
Mm-hmm. It's I was hearing Jonas Dupuis talking about actually Sergio's tree. He participated to one of the biggest exhibitions in the States, and despite the exhibition having a lot of different prizes, because when you have a lot of trees, maybe there's a best conifer, best in show, best deciduous. The tree from Sergio in that case didn't get any prizes, and it's difficult to understand sometimes how the judges vote, and it's with something like this one, like this art. A lot is about the feelings that maybe somebody has. And I'm happy that Sergio trees had the chance to shine in Bonsaigers X, and I'm really happy about the outcome of the event. The possibility to have these beautiful trees in the event give us the possibility to get in touch with artists like you, artists like the participant that we had this year, and it's thanks also to Sergio and all the others that have been showcased this year. So once again, we are extremely grateful that you took the time to participate as a judge and to talk with us today. It's I would like to hear, what do you think? How do you think that the Bonsaigers X could develop in the next years? And how do you see the future of bonsai maybe?
Well, the development of this contest, I think you're a bit more centered on, a bit too much centered for my taste on Instagram. I think you should do a lot more on Facebook and on another whatever things, because you're very young and everybody in your age is at Instagram, but old people are not. So and old people do bonsai. So if you want to get a bigger audience, do more to Facebook. Okay, maybe that's just my idea, but we will see. And the future of bonsai, I see a bright future for bonsai. When I started to get into this bonsai world, that was almost 50 years ago, the world was great because everything was clear. What was bonsai was written in stone, and it was very easy to do judging because you only had to see, did this person follow the rules, and if yes, then that's it. In the end, the tree that had the most points of following the rules won. That meaning the most mediocre and boring tree won. Okay, to overemphasize it. But that was a time. And you went to the bonsai show with a tree that didn't conform, they maybe would not even let you in. Or if you went to this bonsai club meeting in Sunday afternoon and then show you a tree, they would all tell you what to change. Okay, so now and then there was this transformation. All of a sudden, Kimura came and brought in modern bonsai, radically different. And then Walter Pall came and brought in very crazy ideas. And then others came in. And now all of a sudden, it's not one mainstream style of tree, but it's many at once, which is very, very good development. So you just look at the internet or look at this exhibit. You see very well done orthodox trees. You see naturalistic trees. You see whatever, and the masses of the number of people who do good bonsai has grown dramatically. About 30 years ago, I knew just about every single important person in the world of bonsai. That was about 30 people or 50, but that maximum, right? And everybody knew me. Okay, and now there must be 10,000 good people who can do bonsai very well. Okay, and how could I know them? Okay, and sometimes I'm surprised to see something on the internet which is very good, and I've never ever heard of that. That didn't happen in the old days. Okay, but that's a very good development. The numbers do grow, but not dramatically. And by the sheer nature of bonsai, unfortunately, that can never be a very, very big thing, simply because you have to water these things every day, and you find it difficult to overwinter, and this is simply not for a broad public. So it will never happen. Like in Japan, it will not happen. However, in the small bonsai world, I see enormous development. And what I wish more is more fairness, more openness to accept that there's other ways. So there's still some people fighting their ways of thinking that their way is the only one and the right way. It sounds like a religious or a political discussion. I hate that. In arts, it's almost established. In real arts like painting and sculpting, it's established that there are many different styles. And even if it's an artist does not copy old styles, but he invents a new style, then he's an artist. So there's as many styles as there are artists, and that's a good thing. And in bonsai, that's still a bit frowned upon. Like, oh, he does not. This is the man who loves to break the rules. Like, this is this man who rocks the boat. That's a good thing. Hey, that's what we want. That doesn't mean you have to like what he does. But you have to accept it that this man is trying very hard to do something artistic, okay? He may well fail, but he tries. You don't even try, you just copy something, which is proven, right? And then it looks good. So, but so what? Is it our job really to copy something which was done in order to sell a number of good trees for good money? That's what's called commercial bonsai. It's nothing wrong with that. It's a money-making machine. But we are now copying these commercial bonsais, or are we creating new ones, which maybe not sell so easily, but they are more artistic. And I think the latter one is the better one. And all of a sudden, I think people are picking this up. People are not dumb on the internet. They see a lot, and of course a lot of dumb people. But in general, they're moving in the right direction. And I see young people are also more for freedom and not following rules. So they love new ways of doing. And I think this will very well continue. I see a bright future for bonsai.
That's what we all hope, and I think that we are like seeing the quality that this competition has been showcased, like the quality of just the artists that we see in this room here, the cutting edge techniques that are being using on the trees from Croatia, but also what has been the American artists are doing, and all the other European artists and Asian and South African and African, everybody is doing. I'm really confident that this is gonna be the case. So, we have a live audience. There's somebody who wants to say anything? Something?
Sure. It's going great. Some questions, I think, from the audience. We had a hard time understanding at one point what the trees were because we weren't actually seeing the trees, so we were trying to recall a little bit. Walter, it was very interesting when you were talking about how challenging it is to be a judge. If you had it to do again, would you change anything?
Yes, I would make it clear from day one, what exactly am I judging?
It's something that we're gonna work on.
Okay.
For sure. We're gonna make it clear. As we said, many things are changing all the time. It's a fast-paced competition and world that we're living in. So it's good to be able to be flexible and change when necessary. So
I think it's amazing to see all of the trees from all around the world. When you travel as a bonsai artist, you see the trees, but it's neat to see trees from everywhere standing alongside of each other. That's really super.
Yes, it's definitely something that cannot be accomplished in this way live in a physical form, because of course it's impossible to, with the passports for the living trees and the different weathers and climates and the obligations that the people has in life to just bring a tree across the world, and these proved to be really unique, and we would love to being able to have more people joining in the next years, so that we could actually improve. Like we would like one day to be able to do a conifer section and a deciduous section, like a broadleaf, everything, so that we can have different sizes, different species, being a little bit more being placed against the trees that actually can compete with them. So I'm really hopeful and confident that the competition is gonna move forward, and that and I'm really thankful that you took the time to participate. It's a great honor to have you with us.
Okay, thank you.
For today we are finished. We have a lot of work to do with the trees here at Andrea's garden, and we'll showcase some of this work in the next weeks. We have Maros here with us that has been doing some amazing content, and that is gonna It's gonna be showcased on his YouTube. We're working on a documentary ourselves on this very place, Croatia, Dalmatia, and everything that Andrea and his team is doing. And we're really looking forward to show you everything. So once again, thank you. Thank you to the live audience. Thank you to the people that is following from home. We're really grateful that everybody is supporting us, and without you guys, it wouldn't be possible to do all of this. So if you feel like, leave us a comment, go on the trees, go on the pictures of the trees that you see on our feed, and say what you think about it. It's really appreciated, and we give you a big thank as well.
It's an honor.
It's an honor.
Yeah.
We see each other in the next weeks. This live form content is gonna be pushed forward in the year, and we're gonna have some amazing artists coming every Monday on here on Instagram, and then this conversation and the other ones are gonna be able to be found on YouTube as well. So we see each other in the next weeks, and thank you again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Walter.